Right, well, today we're going to be talking about two things. We're going to start off talking about the Tom MacDonald and Ben Shapiro rap video that came out recently. By the way, it's called Facts. Facts. With Tom MacDonald featuring Ben Shapiro. It's it's something, I'll tell you that. Let's just get right into it. First off, I just think it's really funny to have these two standing next to each other. I just think I'm not sure if I'm blocking Tom McDonald's face, but if I am, I'll put a picture of him. But like, he it's so weird seeing Ben Shapiro, who is all about like modesty, shit like that, standing next to a man with face tats, dreads. Like, it's just, but it's because, he agrees with him. That's why.
They call me offensive, controversial. There's only two genders, boys and girls. They can't cancel my message because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Claim that I'm racist, yeah, alright. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every Caucasian's a bigot, I guess every Muslim's a terrorist. Every liberal is right.
Oh my god.
The folks who don't get it, go woke, go broke, no hope, it's pathetic. Pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love, you're progressive. But you ain't pro-gun, no one to protect it.
Okay, which is pretty. I just want you to remember that the whole. I have the lyrics pulled up here for a little bit later. Pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love, you're progressives, but you ain't pro-gun, no one to protect it.
Where the American flags at? Remember when people would hang those? They've been taken down, they all been replaced with BLM flags or a rainbow.
Yes, just in case you didn't catch that. The lyrics there were, where the American flags at? Remember when people would hang those? They've been taken down, they all been replaced with BLM flags or a rainbow. Yeah, because no one hangs American flags anymore. No one hangs them anymore. They are ancient history in America. You definitely couldn't just go outside anywhere and see them. Just so stupid.
This ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns, ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes.
This ain't rap, this ain't money, cash and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns, despite the fact that he is pro-gun? Like, you're pro-gun. Shouldn't you want to push guns? That's literally what you did. Not, like, just a few seconds ago. We ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes. To me, I just think this is so funny. Like, Tom MacDonald is just, he's just such a joke in terms of the fact, like, here's the thing. I can't believe someone who looks like this. It's just like, I don't know. There's just someone with Tom MacDonald, like, you cannot look like this and be on the right. It's just, like, they don't like you. Like, they don't like people who look like you. Like, if this was, like, I don't know, it's like early 2000s, the right would not accept this guy at all. But, I don't know. To me, this is just kind of like the rapper for guys who never really grew up out of high school. Like, this is their favorite rapper.
I don't care if I offend
I can't get over that little segment there. Just Ben. You can tell they did not film this in the same area. I wouldn't be surprised if Ben just refuses to be in the same room as him. But, like, first of all, there's no way Ben is that tall. He's definitely either on a soapbox or, again, they probably recorded this separately. And it just, like, this is the part where the beat is supposed to drop. And Ben is just barely emoting, just moving his little face around.
I don't care if I offend you.
He looks like your little brother wearing your clothes. Like you gave him your hand-me-downs, and that's what he's wearing. Just he looked so ridiculous. Yeah, we defunded the police, guys. Yeah. Oh my god. Instead of Jesus in Tom MacDonald's house, it's just pictures of Ben. It's just a shrine to Ben. And every single day he gets up and he's just like, Ben, what would you do? It's like, oh my god. This is so. Oh.
Let's just keep it real fast. Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke, homie, no cap.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. Of course he had to put WAP in there. Oh god. This is a. Let's go. Let's look at what it said. Let's look at the stats. I got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wop. Dog, it's a yarmulke. Homie, no cap. Oh my god. I will admit though, this right here, dog, it's a yarmulke. Homie, no cap. That's pretty good. I think that's a good bar. But I'm not giving that to Ben Shapiro or Tom MacDonald. I have a feeling someone definitely ghostwrote this. I don't think necessarily he's bad at making music. I think he just has stupid opinions that affect his music, like this. Like, I think he has a good flow. Some of his lyric choices are alright. The beat's alright. I think it's a pretty standard, beat for this kind of music. But it's not, I wouldn't say like, if I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics, I could probably like see myself bobbing my head back, just kind of going with the groove of it. Maybe not for the Ben Shapiro part, because like he doesn't even try to attempt to change his voice, or like actually like put on, a little bit of voice to go on with the song. But it's just like I have like, even though I do think Tom, while having stupid opinions, is not bad at making music. I don't think it's really on him. I think he just has a lot of good people who work for him. And probably, I don't know. I have a feeling that someone definitely goes for this. But I might be wrong. I do think this is a good line. But it's just so funny hearing it from Ben Shapiro with the most monotone voice he could pull off.
Look at the graphs, look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You go into prison, I'm on television.
I'm sorry, I can't get over it. He just like, you can tell he requested to be on like the same height. Because there's no way, like there's actual, like if you looked up pictures of Ben Shapiro, you can tell they definitely sized him up, because there's no way he kind of almost looks bigger than Tom with his comparison. And it's just, also this green screen is really bad. I don't know. They look like poorly chopped, like poorly cropped into this. It just looks so out of place.
You go into prison, I'm on television. Dogs, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet.
Oh, also, I like how you can see Ben's knuckles through the hoodie. I wouldn't be surprised if Ben has never wore a hoodie in his life. Like, whenever I think of Ben Shapiro, he's just always in a suit. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he just never has worn anything like this, and he just doesn't know what to do with his hands.
Cars, you go into prison, I'm on television. Dogs, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes.
Keep hating on me on the internet. My comments all woke Karens. Which I highly doubt. I think it's just a bunch of like, divorced dads who are just watching his videos like in a Ford F-150, just watching his videos. Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't watch Ben's videos, so I wouldn't know. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Again, I feel like if anyone's living with their parents, it's probably your fans. Or at least like your incel fans. Because it's either, I feel like Ben's main fan base has either got to be like, probably just, Facebook, older Facebook conservatives, or more than like, or I would probably say like, almost like teenage boys who just have no social skills, and think that like, because they're not athletic, I don't know. Like, that's the only person I can see Ben appearing to. It's like, Facebook parents who, Like they see him and are like, well, there's a smart guy. I'm not smart, but he is, so I'll just listen to him. Or it's just guy, impressionable teenage boys who have no life outside of just watching his videos. But I don't know. That's just my opinions. I don't honestly know what his demographic is that much.
Did this for fun. All my people download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
Oh my god. All my people download this. Oh god. Let's get a Billboard #1. Yeah, all my people download this. Let's get a Billboard #1. Yeah, what a bar right there. Yeah, don't you love when you're listening? Don't you love when you're listening to music where the artist is just like, "Yo, can you guys download this and get this to #1, please? Please get this to #1." There's just something really funny about me about this guy being the one to be like, I don't know. What does it say on his chin there? I have no idea. Looks like hog. Well, he knows what he is. He's a hog for sure. But I don't know. There's just something so funny about seeing this guy being like champion a side that wants to go back to traditional values when he looks like this. Like, oh my god. Like if he cares about traditional values so much, you probably want to get rid of those piercings, get some tattoo removal, which is definitely gonna hurt with how much you got all over your face, and probably get rid of those dreads. Like, I don't know. Like, oh my god. He's just such an unserious person. I can't take him seriously at all. It's just fun to laugh at him. But I think that's gonna be it for the Tom MacDonald, Ben Shapiro facts video. And we're gonna move over to the child safety Senate hearing that happened a couple days ago, almost a week ago. And this got passed around the internet a lot just because of this moment. We'll get to this. Basically, Senator Tom Cotton being extremely racist. But we're gonna start with, unfortunately, we're gonna start this little segment with Ted Cruz. Now, this whole Senate hearing was about child safety on social media. Zuckerberg was a part of this. He got grilled for a good part of it by what was his name? I think Josh Hawley, which is unfortunate because Josh Hawley is not a good person. And this whole Senate hearing came off more of a publicity stunt for Republicans than it actually meaning anything, because I don't think they really care all that much. It just feels, again, like a publicity stunt, especially when it comes to TikTok, and we're gonna get to it. When it comes to TikTok, I mean, the way that they well, let me go back to the Zuckerberg thing. They did a pretty alright job, a pretty good job, like really getting at Zuckerberg. But when it comes to what we're gonna get with the TikTok CEO, they don't go as hard with him. Like when it came to Zuckerberg, it was stuff that they couldn't. It was stuff that Zuckerberg. It was stuff that the questions they asked Zuckerberg were like questions that like he wasn't really able to dodge. Like, or it was like really good questions about like child safety on social media. But at the same time, I don't think they were like great questions either. Again, this just feels like it doesn't feel like anything serious, honestly. Like, I don't see this going anywhere. This just seems like a publicity stunt. Because really, all they care about, they don't really care about child safety. Especially when, like, I don't know, with Zuckerberg, they were at least better when it came to caring about child safety. But with the TikTok CEO, a lot of their problems really come down to the fact that it's a Chinese company, and they just what their main goal is with the whole like TikTok being banned in US and with TikTok being banned in the United States is just so they will sell TikTok to an American company so that they can use it. Right, that's it. They don't care. They just want it to be a US company. Because if it wasn't, because if it was, they would not care about like all the spying stuff that TikTok does. Because, they do that with our social media anyways. But yeah, we're just gonna watch this little part right here.
I want to turn to you. You're familiar with China's 2017 National Intelligence Law, which states, quote, all organizations and citizens shall support, assist, and cooperate with national intelligence efforts in accordance with the law and shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of.
Yes, I'm familiar with this.
TikTok is owned by ByteDance. Is ByteDance subject to the law?
For the Chinese businesses that ByteDance owns, yes, it will be subject to this, but TikTok is not available in mainland China. And Senator, as we talked about in your office,
TikTok does. TikTok is not available in China. They do have their own version of it. It's under a different name. I don't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head, but it is owned on. But it is it's technically different. But it's basically just the same thing. There's more like limitations on it. There's a bunch of more limitations on it, not just on like the content itself, but also on how long you can use it. But the TikTok version is very much like, obviously it's not that.
To put this out of reach.
So ByteDance is subject to the law. Now, under this law, which says shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of, it compels people subject to the law to lie, to protect those secrets. Is that correct?
I cannot comment on that. What I said again is that we have
because you have to protect those secrets?
No, Senator, TikTok is not available in mainland China. We have moved the data into an American cloud infrastructure.
TikTok is controlled by ByteDance, which is subject to this law. Now, you said earlier, and I wrote this down, we have not been asked for any data by the Chinese government, and we have never provided it. I'm going to tell you, and I told this when you and I met last week in my office, I do not believe you. And I'll tell you, the American people don't either. If you look at what is on TikTok in China, you are promoting to kids science and math videos, educational videos, and you limit the amount of time kids can be on TikTok. In the United States, you are promoting to kids self-harm videos and anti-Israel propaganda.
First off, I don't know why he had to take such a big break there. Also, is there self-harm videos on TikTok? Maybe I'm just, out of the loop here. Or maybe, Ted Cruz needs to double check what a FYP means. But is there actually a problem with that? I honestly don't know. If there is, I don't know, leave some intel in the comments, leave some information. Because I feel like this is just him. I don't know. I don't understand where he's trying to get with that part. But at the same time, going away from that, anti-Israeli propaganda. If you have a problem with anti-Israeli propaganda on TikTok, tell Israeli soldiers to stop posting content on TikTok. That's all the anti-Israeli propaganda you need. It's just watching what Israeli soldiers post on TikTok. Honestly, just disgusting.
Why is there such a dramatic difference?
Senator, that is just not accurate. There's
not a difference between what kids see in China and what kids see here?
Senator, TikTok is not available in China. It's a separate experience there. What I'm saying is...
But you have a company that is essentially the same, except it promotes beneficial materials instead of harmful materials.
That is not true. We have a lot of science and math content here on TikTok. There's so much of it.
There is a STEM... there is a STEM tab on TikTok. But at the same time, I'm not sure how the Chinese one, the equivalent of TikTok in China looks like. But for us, it's a separate tab. But it is kind of it's on the furthest end from the FYP, the For You page. But it is also right next to the following page. And the shop is right in between the two. So they're definitely trying to push something. That's the thing. I'm not completely for TikTok. I don't think it's great. Again, the reason why I question the whole like self-harm situation is because that's just something that I've never really heard when it comes to TikTok. Like, do I think it, you know, allows information to be spread at like a rapid rate that might not be truthful? Yes. A large amount of why the manosphere grew to such an extent was because of TikTok. Because, of the manosphere creators abusing the algorithm. Like, the reason why, with Andrew Tate, he had so many, fan pages that would just repost clips of him. That's why he grew so much.
Let me point to this, Mr. Chu. There was a report recently that compared hashtags on Instagram to hashtags on TikTok, and what trended, and the differences were striking. So, for something like hashtag Taylor Swift or hashtag Trump, researchers found roughly 2 Instagram posts for every 1 on TikTok. That's not a dramatic difference. That difference jumps to 8 to 1 for the hashtag Uyghur. And it jumps to 30 to 1 for the hashtag Tibet. And it jumps to 57 to 1 to the hashtag Tiananmen Square. And it jumps to 174 to 1 for the hashtag Hong Kong protest.
You're comparing to things that, you're comparing, well, okay, you're comparing things that don't really get talked about in general on a lot of social media apps to 2 of the biggest names in the world, or at least in the States. Because you're comparing, I'm guessing he's comparing this to the, United States. I'm not sure if he really said, worldwide. But it's Taylor Swift, one of the biggest musicians today, versus a, former president, future, current presidential candidate, versus something that, to a lot of people, they didn't exactly witness in real time, or something that, again, a lot of these things don't get talked about in the day-to-day. They're not, current trending topics. It's just, again, this is very nitpicky. I don't think this is a good look.
Why is it that on Instagram, people can put up a hashtag Hong Kong protest 174 times compared to TikTok? What censorship is TikTok doing at the request of the Chinese government?
None. Senator, that analysis
explain
is
that
flawed.
differential.
The analysis is flawed. It's been debunked by other external sources like the Cato Institute. Fundamentally, a few things happen here. Not all videos carry hashtags. That's the first thing. The second thing
That's
is
also true. Not everyone puts a hashtag on videos.
that you cannot selectively choose a few words within a certain time.
Yeah, which is a good point. Again, hashtags are not a genuine, you can't really use that in your research. Because, again, a lot of people just don't use hashtags. That doesn't mean they're not talking about it. It just means they're not putting the hashtag on their video.
Why the difference between Taylor Swift and Tiananmen Square? What happened?
How many people do you think talk about Tiananmen Square that often? How many people do you think talk about Taylor Swift?
At Tiananmen Square?
Senator, there was a massive protest during that time. But what I'm trying to say is our users can freely come and post this
Why
content.
would there be no difference on Taylor Swift, or a minimal difference, and a massive difference on Tiananmen Square or Hong Kong?
Senator, could you wrap up, please?
Senator, our algorithm does not suppress any content simply based on
To
this.
answer
It
that
doesn't.
question, why?
Because it's a trend-based thing. That's how these social media platforms work. They go based on trends. Not a lot of people talk about Tiananmen Square, while a lot of people talk about Taylor Swift. That's the thing. Again, I hate to be on TikTok's side here, but Ted Cruz, to no one's surprise, continues to be an absolute clown. Again, this is why I say this is all a publicity stunt. I don't actually think they care about this. They want TikTok to be a U.S. government, a U.S. company, so that they can use this and control, information. But they're using the dumbest questions when it comes. Again, I think I would go on my with TikTok with Zuckerberg, even though we're not gonna talk about him. They kept this on child. They kept the questions on child safety. They kept the questions on child safety and how Meta does not do a good enough job on, keeping that. But at the same time, but TikTok, they really just hammer in the whole, it's a Chinese government thing, because that's their main problem with it. They don't care about the child safety aspect on TikTok. They just care that it's a Chinese company that they don't own, that they want to own.
You said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore. Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two and a half years in Singapore.
Do you have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen. Your children are American citizens.
That's correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
It's like, no, you're Chinese. You're Chinese. I can't tell the difference. You're Chinese.
No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
Let me ask you some hopefully simple questions.
That's just really what it is. Like, oh God. Tom Kine just being an absolute... He's just like, I can't tell the difference. That's the clip that everyone that's been like going around. Just being like, are you Chinese? No, I'm Singaporean. No, you're Chinese. No, I'm Singaporean. Just so dumb. Oh my God. Again, it's like, how are we supposed to take this seriously when we have people like that running the show with the Senate hearing? And again, what does this have to do with child safety? What does this have to do with child safety? Like whether or not he's a part of the Communist Party? A Communist Party of a nation that he is not a part of, nor is he like from. I'm Singaporean. No, you're Chinese. God. Oh man, I did not expect this video to go this long. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about. Just some silly, goofy stuff. But yeah, I think this is where I'm gonna leave it off. See ya.